Hey guys, how's it going? I want to show you all this real quick. First of all, let me make sure this is working. It's working. Okay. All right. I want to show you all this real quick. Angel Eyed Girl sent me this email, and she's asking, asked if I saw this, and they're blaming it on climate change. It's a video. I'll link this video in the description. It's a video of the Euphrates River drying up, and you go back in recorded history, and there's never a time the Euphrates has ever dried up like this. There's actually video footage and pictures of people that are all the way out standing in the middle of the Euphrates. In fact, I'll open this up and you can see it on the first part of this here. Oh, well, there's going to be ads first, of course. Should have had this set up already. Come on. There we go. Let's see, I think it opened, yeah, right there. I'm going to pause it right here. So you can see all the way over on those hills, see where the green layer is? That's the banks of the river. All these animals are walking on mostly dry ground. These people are having to go out into the river to get water. Later in this video, and I'll link it in the description so you can watch it, it shows that they have to walk out into the middle of the riverbed and dig down just to be able to pump water out for their crops. It's completely drying up, and the Bible talks about this. And I told Angel Eye Girl this, but I'm going to do this video and show this for you real quick. And I think I may have made a discovery, but I got to do more research on it first and read some more on it. So here's a map showing the path of the Euphrates River. Where the Euphrates River goes right down and connects to the Tigris just above Kuwait in the south part of Iraq. This is interesting because in the Bible, we have a couple of different things that apply here. Revelation 9:13 says, "Then the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, 'Release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates.' So the four angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year, specific time frame, were released to kill a third of mankind. Now the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them. There is only one nation on our world today that has a 200 million man army, and that's China. But I've heard a lot of people say, well, China's not this group here. Are you sure? Because it kind of seems like it is. But we'll get to this in a minute. Let's go over to Revelation chapter 16. Verse 12 says, "Then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its waters was dried up, so that the way of the kings from the east might be prepared." Well, who's east of that region? China. So here's what I did. Of course, you can see where the river Euphrates goes. And a lot of people are going to say, well, how can they march from China if it doesn't go to China? You're right, it doesn't go to China. It dumps out into the bay down here, just next to Kuwait, connecting to the Tigris River. I think that's the Persian Gulf. So how are they going to do that? Well, I got to thinking, what if, and on the contrary, China has emerged as Iraq's #1 trading partner. This is on mei.edu. And Iraq as China's third leading source of oil after Saudi Arabia and Russia. As the Daesh threat has receded, China has sought to expand its footprint in Iraq and has found in Baghdad a partner greatly in need of support for its reconstruction and recovery effort. Do you not think that they would not put their military there? Yeah, absolutely they would. Well, what if this little deal they have here is a front in order for them to be able to put that there? Now, this particular article is titled, "China-Iraq Relations Poised for a Quantum Leap." Well, okay, that would put them right there where the Euphrates River is, to march up it, which is what this says over here. Drying up the river, back to 9. Drying up the river, and there's your army. So I started to think about this a little more, and I'll get into this later because I need to do a little bit more research. But I got to thinking, what if you take all the seals and line them up in order, and then you take the different pieces of the book of Revelations that fit what those seals are describing and plug that data in there, and you see a straight sweeping across. I'm talking like the seals, the trumpets, the vials, all happening at the same time. You know, in heaven's view, you see here, time doesn't operate up there, but it does for us. Well, what if it's spelling it? Jesus spelled it out to John individually, but what if it's actually all happening at the same time in alignment with these seals? Maybe we've all had it wrong this whole time. I don't know. I got to do more research. I got to dig a little deeper into that, because to me it looks like some of it overlaps, but it looks like there's a continuity to the story. But I got to dig a little deeper in that, see if I can find anything more to this and see, because that would make a whole lot of sense if it did. If you can go and you can start and work your way through each seal, and you can go straight across, and you plug in the different parts from the rest of the book of Revelation and plug it in as it associates to a seal, and see a straight story going across and see all the events, and it sure would line up. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, and I'm gonna see what I can find. If I don't find anything, you won't hear from me. If I do, I'll show it to you. But that's interesting. And here's the point of this quick video. If we're seeing this happen, China is in Iraq. They're about to be huge partners, which means they're going to have an established presence there. The Euphrates River, which is currently drying up, which is spoken of specifically in the Bible, is right there. There's Baghdad on the Tigris. The Euphrates is right next to it. I've been to both those rivers there. It's right there, and they would be poised to go straight up to the big fight they're going to have. Follow the river, look where it goes. If we're seeing that happen, if we're literally witnessing something that's never happened before in our recorded history, I mean, it's gotten low, but this is an all-time low. And they said there's no sign it's going to come back. If we're seeing this happen, how close are we? I think we're shockingly close. I mean, the fact that we're seeing stuff, you go back in history and try to find some of this. Well, when has this ever happened before? Can't find it. When has that ever happened before? Can't find it. All of a sudden, you start to find it. Happening in our time, not back then. And then we have biblical prophecy, and it's specific information. I mean, this would be different if the Tigris was going dry, but the Tigris is going low too. But this river is specifically referred to in the Bible under specific conditions to create a specific set of criteria and circumstances. And we're witnessing it happening. We're seeing the preparation. See what it says over here? Let's see. Nope, here we go, 16. Verse 12, Revelation 16, then the sixth angel poured out his bowl in the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up, so that the way of the kings from the east might be prepared. If we're seeing that happen, has that bowl been poured out? Now go back and think of what I mentioned earlier. Line up the seals and start plugging in all the data from the book of Revelation to each seal as it associates. Maybe we're seeing it. Maybe it's all happening in a straight line. Maybe a bunch of this stuff has happened. Don't know. We may have all had it wrong the whole time. I don't know. I'm going to do some more research to see if I can find something. It's interesting. Very interesting. But if we're seeing that happen, how close are we? How close could we possibly be? I think it's literally right there. I know we've been saying that, but man, I mean, we just entered the year of wonders, the Shemitah year, 5782. Interesting. Interesting to see this. And I'm going to end with Revelation 16:15. Behold, words of Jesus Christ. I am coming as a thief. Blessed is he who watches and keeps his garments, lest he be naked, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Plug that little statement in there in between the data. So we need to be watching and paying attention. This is pretty big in my view. This is pretty big to have something like this happen right now. That's amazing. All right, just wanted to throw that out there for you guys and let y'all consider it. Like I said, I'll link this in the description so you can check it out. And yeah, we'll go from here and see what happens. See you in the next one.